Okay, so I'm going to be showing you today how to tie an easy knot for when you're stitching, and how to start an embroidery and end an embroidery. So the way I do my knots is I take the thread kind of around my index finger, I make a loop, and then I sort of curl between my finger and my thumbs, and then I pull tight like that. It's just an easy way to do a quick knot without fiddling with it too much. Okay, so that's what I usually do for my knot. And then I'm going to show you just how you start an embroidery. So I have my lines drawn on here. So I'm going to be following that line. So when you're stitching a hoop, you are going to start by bringing your needle up from underneath. So you want that knot to be on the back. So I'm going to bring it up, and then I'm going to be doing a back stitch, just following this line. So I'm going to put my needle in, and I'm going to find the next spot where I want my needle to come up. So this is going to create the length of the stitch. And pull tight. So I've done one stitch there. Then I'm going to put my needle in right where the thread, the hole that the thread was in. And I'm going to go forward again. So usually with embroidery, you're always working like this. You're keeping your needle on top of the hoop, on top of the fabric. And that way you have a lot more control over where your needle is going to go. Instead of, for instance, taking my thread all the way through, and then I'm at the back side of the hoop, and it takes me, a few tries to find the exact spot where I want to be. So it's a lot faster to do it this way, and you have more control. You're not always going to be able to do it like this. There's some times when you might have to bring your needle all the way through and then come up again, such as if you've got a lot of heavy stitching, or you're right near the edge, if you're stitching right near the edge of your hoop for some reason. Okay, so once you've either run out of thread or you've reached the point where you want to stop, what you're going to do is put your needle through to the back and your last stitch, turn your needle or your hoop over, and then catch just a little bit of the fabric. I've got 2 layers of fabric here. I always stitch with 2 layers so that I can be a little bit messy on the back without having it show through. So I always pick up a little bit of that back layer of the fabric. If you only have 1 layer of fabric, then I would just pick up the thread that's behind. And you can stitch through once and then do it again, and then put your needle through that loop that you just made and tighten it. I usually do that 2 times just to make sure it's nice and solid. And then you can just cut. I usually leave about that much. And there you go. That's how you start and finish a line of stitching for embroidery. So thanks for tuning in, and subscribe if you'd like to learn a bit more about basic embroidery skills.